afternoon, everyone. It's your boy, father figure, uncle, Hearted Kevin Konsious Davis, here with another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, as I am waiting for a call from the Flexxx radio station from all the way in Europe. They have reached out to me to ask me if I would like to do an interview with them as a trans man who is out and loud, out of the closet, as a blogger, a vlogger, a motivational speaker. They would like to interview me based on my trans journey from Jamaica to Canada and who I am as a person right now, here and then. I'm not sure what the questions will be, but I'm going to record it, live stream, like make the video, continue this video so you can have knowledge as to what the interview was about. I'm a little itchy because I don't really do interviews like that per se. I like to do face-to-face interviews where I can see the person's reaction when they're asking the question and when I answer the question. But cheers to new beginning. Journey with Kevin is going places, so I am just waiting for the phone call and then we'll be live. So it's Flexxx radio station from all the way in Europe. You can find this radio station on the MIXLR app. So you would have to download the MixLR, it's one word, all lowercase, MixLR app. And then from the app, you go to the listen option. And then you go to follow. Then you type in Pink, P-I-N-K, space, F-L-E-X, triple X. So it's F-L-E-X-X-X. And then you follow them. After you follow them, then you can find the video and you can watch the video or listen to the video or listen to the recording, whatever it is. But I'm gonna record it for myself so y'all can watch it, so stay tuned. Good afternoon.
Hold on. Alright, good night, Kevin.
Yes.
Alright, so it is the cast. I have me, which is Craig Smite, I called you earlier. I have Damien, which I have a whole heap of them. Damien look a bit teeny weeny. And we have Hill, which is Paradise, you know, from Germany.
Okay.
Good night, Kevin.
Good night.
Your voice sounds strong and sexy, though.
Come out strong and all these things.
I tell you. What we're gonna do, we're gonna just do a short introduction to the listeners, but we won't introduce you yet. We're gonna take a break and then we're gonna bring you back on.
Okay, no problem.
Let me ask you, Kevin, because you see, we know as guys sometimes we say she, I wanna mean she, you know, does that offend you in any way, shape, or form?
Well, actually, somewhat yes, because my gender and everything has been changed on all my documents to male, so I really don't go by the she. So as much as possible, try to avoid it. If mistakes does happen, and I'll understand.
But we don't necessarily mean she, you know. Like I would be talking to Damon, I'm saying, Damon, what is a girl? But it doesn't mean that Damon is like just over bad talk. But if it happens, just forgive us, yeah. But I will try our best not to.
Okay, all right, understandable.
All right, so we're gonna go into the show now, and then we'll see. You guys are ready? Yeah. All right, here we go. Hello, and welcome to Flexxx Radio. Of course, it's a Tuesday night, and we're happy to be here. Even though Damon sounds like you're tired than me. Damon said, so.
No, man, we're really tired. You're really eerie. Good night, Flexxx Radio listeners.
Okay.
Now, let me do a proper introduction, Craig.
I want to do a proper introduction. I'm going to try. You know.
Yourself properly, please, and thanks.
All right, welcome, listeners, to Flexxx Radio. It is your boy, Craig Michael, and I have with me my lovely co-host. Of course, we have the little teeny woman all the way from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, of course. That is a Damien, teeny weeny, Ukubit, Mrs. Williams. The boy never get a problem, bring them to her, she send them back fixed. Right? I'm gonna stop.
Bonjour, salut, Flexxx, everyone.
You sound more tired than we paradise.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired, but psycho.
Yeah, don't. And we have a guest, of course, tonight, as we sent out in the broadcast. Not introducing just yet, as we're going to take a short break. No, before we take the break, let's do it as Damon would say. Let's do it properly. Let me welcome our guests. Manice, Daniel D. Princess, Drize, welcome Drize, Boss Cake, Boss Keems, Chris Jovilu, Sexy Kelly 32, welcome, Kim K. Possible, welcome back, where have you been? Boss Lady Shauna, D Legend Bossworth, Fluffy Kitty, early for the first, Sophia John, Ramon 007, and for those of you who are listening through the link, welcome and good night to you. If you're listening through the link and you want to be a part of the conversation, remember the number to contact us is +31 611 093874. Again, that number is +31 611 093874. Remember, guys, if you want to join, if you want to give a call, send us a message and we will reply or give you a call. Sophia says, hey, good night, Sophia. Manice says good night. Everyone, good night to you, Manice. Yes, Sophia said good night again. A very pleasant evening to you, Sophia. John, Fluffy Kitty says, Craig, up off on my back, please. Hear everybody.
Big back, that you know.
Yes, a very big back. I know, we'll be right. We'll be right back, guys. Enjoy the music. Don't talk. Danny, welcome to the program, Sophia. Danny, I'll reproduce that. Alright, so Captain.
Yes.
You already seem like you're relaxed, so stay relaxed, and the show is just us.
Yeah, man, I'm all good.
Laugh, trouble, and so we just have a few questions for you, of course. Sometimes we jump off of the script, but no feel of it. It's just us.
It's all good.
Yeah.
No worries.
David, are you ready to bring us back in? Are you ready to bring us back in?
No, it's okay. You can bring us back in with the 3 hellos.
Every night, I'm tired of the green people.
Vote them out.
No?
Vote them out.
No, you're not going to vote them. Because we're going right back in right now. Not doing this. Hello. And welcome back. That was a short break, but I know you guys were beaming and waiting to hear the conversation that we had tonight. And of course, our special guest is from Canada. Kevin, is it Konsious Davis?
Yes, it is.
Alright, I'm Kevin. Many people have earbuds. I'm not somebody else have earbuds.
Alright, so Kevin Konsious Davis it is.
Want to hear that? Let's see what's happening in the chat. Hey everyone, to Sexy Kelly 32. Welcome, Sexy Kelly. Welcome to the program. Sophia says Daniel, and thank you, Daniel says Sophia. So, David, you know what? I always give you the first question for running in and do the icebreaker.
Okay. For many people, Kevin, this question can be either a very simple one or a very difficult one. So, depending on how you perceive it, we want to know who is Kevin. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, so Kevin is a trans man who was born with the wrong gender, I would say. I was given the female gender at birth. However, I lived most of my life pretending to be a female, which was very uncomfortable. So as soon as I was able to leave Jamaica to come to Canada, then I came out as a transgender and I pursued my transition journey within the last 3 years. So I've been in Canada for 6 years. The first 3 years I was living the life of a stud. That's what a lot of people think, that I was a stud. But to me, there was more to me than just being a stud. I felt like a man trapped inside of a woman's body, and so I had to continue my transition journey to feel complete. So now I'm practically at a satisfactory level as a trans man. So that's basically a little about me. I do a lot of motivational talks on my YouTube channel. When we get to that point, I'll advertise about that some more. But I'm a motivational speaker and a blogger. Right now, a SSW, social service worker / counselor. That's my profession.
I know, like Kevin, right now your voice is like 10 out of 10.
Right now, I change my voice, you know.
Yeah. The testosterone helps with the voice too. It makes my voice got a little deeper than it was.
Okay.
Yeah, man. If I said that is my husband, so welcome, wife is Sapphire.
Yeah, my wife is on the channel supporting me. Wifey, big up yourself, Sapphire John.
Done. What does the term mean though? The transgender. What does the term transgender mean?
Okay, so there are different definitions, but the one that is more widely or most oftenly used is a person who doesn't feel like they were given the right gender at birth. So if you were given the female gender, but you grow up not feeling like a female, you feel more masculine, then you're a transgender. If it's the other way around, you were given the female gender at birth, but you don't feel like a female, and you grow up like a male, then you're a trans man, still a transgender. There's also the non-binary. The non-binary transgenders are the persons who do not take a gender. So they can be both, they can be either or at any given time. Today that person can feel like a male, tomorrow that person can feel like a female, the other day they feel like both, half and half, or two at the same time. For the non-binary, most of them, they don't use a specific pronoun, and if they have to, their pronouns would be like they and them and their.
Yeah. That is coming from the school of the idea that there may be only 2 or 3 genders. What about people who, for example, I can't remember another gender off the top of my head, but like, for people who would say, okay, I am not transgender, I am not a male, I am not a female.
They are non-binary. For the most part, they're either queer, non-binary, or... Because pansexual is not a gender. So so far right now, I am aware of like 3 genders, like male, female, and the trans. Some of the trans are non-binary. So the 3 that we mainly use right now is male, female, and non-binary. So the non-binary are the ones who don't feel like either male or female. They can be both. And you also have the two-spirited, which is a part of the indigenous community. It came about through the spiritual walk of the indigenous persons, the first people of Canada. So that is one of the genders that they use here, two-spirited.
Okay. All right, for those who are listening, if you have any questions, remember you can send in your questions to Kevin. And of course, once they're clear-cut and they're not offensive, then of course we ask Kevin to answer these questions. Now, Kevin, like for me, we sit on the outside, and I'm a male, right? And then I don't know the difference, So I would say I want, because my producer said ask a question, so may I try put it up and put it in our terms where we want to get it right. What is the difference between a stud and a trans man? Which I think it is clear, but my producer said ask, so we ask.
Yeah, man, it's okay to ask. Okay, so the difference between a stud and a trans man. Okay, so the trans man is very, most, like you say, masculine, 9 out of 10. The trans man is masculine. Everything about that person is masculine. If they're non-binary people who are not masculine. From a person say they're a trans man, 9 out of 10 of them that you speak to will say they are very masculine, no twist. The non-binary ones would be the ones that are in between male and female. They're fluid. Today they feel like a female, just like a female, but they're still under the capacity of a transgender, but not a trans man per se. The stud is a lesbian. Based on my understanding, a stud is a lesbian, a female who is attracted to other females. However, there are some studs who take on the male pronoun, which is also okay, because you have to tell people who you are in order for people to learn you. So we're no longer going by the dictionary's definition where the LGBTQ is concerned, because people now define who they are and we have to accept them for who they are and not what we think. So a stud would be the masculine version or the dominant version in a lesbian relationship. A trans man will be the person who takes on the male persona in everything, not just the clothing, the chores, the education, the way they speak, the way they move about, the way they dress, everything. Some of them go to the point of changing their gender on their IDs, like myself. My gender has been changed on my ID. My driver's license says male. My name has been changed from Carlene to Kevin. So everything about me is changed. So in a year or two, if I don't feel like staying under the title of a trans man, I'm free to move on to just male. I use the trans man title for educational purposes because I'm a vlogger and a motivational speaker. And because I just started my transition like 2.5 years ago, I wanted people to see the connection, where I'm coming from and where I'm going.
Hey, the basic people in the Kiki Street says, "Hi, Uncle Kev, it's Kiki."
Oh, that's one of my campaigners. So can I shout out my supporters who are live?
You can, but I don't know if in your background there's another audio playing and it's interfering.
Let me see what's going on. Hold on. I don't know if it's the app, because I was in the app. Maybe the app is still playing.
Alright, go ahead and do it. Kim, before people said, we respect you using your trans identity. So there's Kim has a big up here.
Alright, so basically I want to big up my campaign team on a whole, because I think about 6 or 7 of them will be watching or listening right now. Kiki Sweets, Sapphira John, Drizzy, and so much more. I'm not able to see who is commenting at the time, but I know my campaign team told me they were coming to support me. They have been supporting me from I started my YouTube channel. They have been sharing my videos, liking my videos, and bringing me subscribers. So I just want to take this time out to shout them out, let them know how much I love them and I appreciate them all. I won't be able to call all the names for time's sake.
You know, there's a lot of questions that we would want to ask, but I know people want to know this. And you know, once you come on the radio and you say you're a trans man, right? You know what the question they definitely want to ask. So have you done the surgery?
I've done one of the many, one of the few. So there's top surgery and there's bottom surgery. I have done the top surgery recently in August. I did the top surgery. I have not done any of the bottom surgeries yet, but the possibility does exist. But where the body and the healing process is concerned, I have to take them in different stages and time. So when I'm done healing properly from the top surgery, then I'll go back to my doctor and let them know which other surgeries I need to do, because the bottom surgery is done in 4 different sections, 4 different surgeries, and it takes like almost 2 years. The shortest time it might take is 18 months.
Explain the bottom surgery, because I know when you say the top surgery, it's evident, but explain the bottom surgery and what are the 4 different sections or that
Okay, so for what I have read up on Google and for the persons who I've spoke with who have done it before, there are different surgeries. I don't remember exactly the names for them. So there's one, the mastectomy, is where I think you remove the womb. There's the other one where they have to stretch where they have to make the penis. There's one where they have to make the balls, and the one where they have to do the connection of the pee hole to make it connect to the penis so that you can pee properly and do whatever else, get an erection and all of that. So everything has to be done in different stages. And one of the surgery where you have to get the flesh to make the penis, you have to take it from a section of your hand or a section of your feet or your foot. So they have to cut that area, and you need time to heal. That area needs to heal, and that skin, they have to use it to mold it to make the penis now.
It's like grafting when you get burned.
Yeah, basically. So it's so you have to take time to do them different stuff, and from time to time you need time to, because the mastectomy goes first so the body can start adjusting. And in order to do the mastectomy, you have to be on testosterone for over 2 years. I'm not yet 2 years on the testosterone. I just started a year ago, maybe about 20 months by now. So I still need time.
Okay. Alright, so first question, well, we just got two questions. Thank you so much for explaining this, Kevin. This is new to me. I never knew it I never knew it so in depth. So, you know, I'm learning and I'm making notes as well. Now, our first question comes from the woman, the cookies, the cooker, the woman who always in the kitchen, that fluffy kitty. What is it, man?
The cookie snatcher.
The cookie snatcher. Fluffy kitty, and she said, I have a question for you, Kevin. Have you ever faced bashing from the umbrella community?
You mean from the LGBTQ?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say bashing per se, but I was teased somewhat when I decided to come out as a transgender and no longer a stud. There were persons in the community who felt like I betrayed the stud community because all this time they think I was a stud when I wasn't. And I told them that they assumed I was a stud. I never tell anybody I was a stud. I was always going for my male pronouns, and I was always telling people that I'm very masculine. I just never understood the term transgender, and that is why I never came out as a trans, because within the early stages of coming to Canada, and you know, being in Jamaica, it's hard to come out as a transgender because there's not many places that you can get help from, and not many persons in Jamaica were trans when I was there. It's now within the last 2 years I'm meeting people online who are saying that they're transgenders and living in Jamaica. So after I came to Canada and learned more about the trans, that was when I decided to come out as a trans. So I was teased, and people would have said that I let down the stud community, and then there are women who I've been with who felt like I lied to them while I was with them, saying that I was a stud or living the life of a stud when I was always feeling like a man. That was just basically the bashing that I would say I received. It was more like teasing our people expressing how they feel about me coming out as a trans.
So you said women felt like you betrayed them?
Yeah, women who I've been with, because you know, some women say that they are lesbians and they only want to be with women. The fact that I am a man or a trans man, it defeats the whole purpose of them being a lesbian. That's why I don't date lesbians anymore. Yeah, because it defeats who they are, because a lesbian is a woman who only have sex with women or feelings for women. So being with me, if you're a lesbian, you're not a lesbian anymore. But not...
Go ahead.
It's just that was not explained to them in the early stages because I never understood what it was. You can't teach somebody something you don't know.
Yes, that is true. Sapphire John says, we love you too. Ramon00 said, how long would it take to heal? But more than likely, it depends on your body and how your body reacts.
Yeah, it depends on your body and what surgery you did. Because for the top surgery, the healing process is 3 weeks to 3 weeks to 6 months, depending on your body and what it is that you are doing. Because you can go back to work within 3 weeks, but just don't be lifting any weight. And if you're driving, don't be swinging and swerving and rocking the steering like you're a car racer doing some bank robber job or something. You just have to take it slowly until you get to the proper stage. After 6 months, you can hit the gym.
Okay. Sexy Kelly says, "Are you afraid?" But I'm not sure what she meant. She said, "Are you afraid?"
If you're afraid of doing the surgery.
That was what I was getting to.
Sexy Kelly. If I'm afraid of doing the surgeries, no. Because this is me, it's who I am, and it's just unfortunate that I wasn't born the way I wish I was, like born with all the male parts, so I wouldn't have to go through this. But life is a struggle, and you pick your battles. Whatever you think you can handle, you just have to take it step by step. You want to become a doctor, you go to college, you study to become a doctor. I want to be the man I see myself to be, so whatever I have to do to be that man, I'm willing to do it. So fear is the least of the problem. What I want, I'm gonna go for it. If you're afraid of going to the supermarket, you're gonna stay home and be hungry because you're afraid. But then you have an undermine that you need to get the groceries, so you're gonna go to the supermarket because you're hungry.
Yeah, that's true, right? So
but, you know, coming from that, Kevin, when did you actually realize that? Well, you touched on it a little bit before when you said that you knew about the difference when you moved to Canada. But when did you realize that you were different? That you weren't what people, the gender that people gave to you? It could have been any time, but when did you realize the different.
From I was very young, to be honest.
Kevin, before you answer, let me just finish read out these comments. It's not a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aladine Hall says, whoa, yeah, so much me have to go through. No man, says Aladine. Is it Chevanese Skyer said, hey, Kevin, campaign team Daya. And the Secretary Kelly says, yes. Now, okay, I understand, based on what you explained earlier.
So, Adene, don't look at it like that. If you're gonna think that is so much to go through, you're just gonna crowd or cloud your own judgment, and it may scare you. Don't think about what you have to go through. Think about why you have to go through it. Why do you want to go through transition? That is what is most important to you. And then everything will come after. You want a degree, don't think about how many courses you have to take. Don't think about how many nights you're going to have to stay up and study. What you want is the degree. So the bottom line is what you want, you go for it. So,
which is right.
The question that was asked, now can I answer the question now?
Sure.
Yeah, so based on what, was it Craig? Who asked the question? Damon or Craig? I'm not sure. But how long did I know? Like, from I was very young, from I would say maybe in primary school, I knew that I was more of a tomboy. That's what they would call me in my hometown. I was a tomboy because I'm always with the boys playing the gig, the gun war, the hide and seek, whatever the guys do. They make the pop shot and the skate, whatever. I'm always doing those stuff. Never doing the girly stuff, combing here and everything. So I knew I was a boy from very young. I used to fight my brothers to wear their pants. As soon as they put away a pants, I would be in it. When they buy me skirts, I never want to wear it. And then it matured into me being a man. When I went into the police force, I did this because it would give me an opportunity to be very masculine and very dominant in public. So when I went in the police force in Jamaica, things were working out, and then the man in me starts to come out more, because you can't bury something alive. It's like I'm trying to hide that I'm attracted to women, but the more I work in the police job, is the more women throw themselves at me because they are seeing the man in me as much as I'm trying to hide it. And then after a time, you just can't hide, you just can't pretend anymore. So I just start living it and never really cared too much, except for the fact that I had to care where my life is concerned. So when I'm in certain situations and certain places, I have to like narrow down the man in me, tone it down a bit to survive or to stay alive. But when I came to Canada and I realized I don't have to hide anymore, I just like get out of the closet.
Alright, so a question came to me in my WhatsApp from Ramon007 because he was afraid to ask a question. So I posted in the group and he said, so question, the bottom surgery meaning you would have a penis, right?
Correct.
Do you get to choose your size? Because as a guy, the bigger our size, the more manly we think we are.
That's the thing. You don't choose your size based on your body and how the doctors see that your blood is flowing, and what they think you can handle is what they give. Because most likely you're going to get an average size when it's dead. You don't know what it's going to be when it's erected. That's the problem. And some people do not get the full erection. It will be able for you to urinate through, but you might not get the full erection, and you might not get a big enough size, and that is why I'm not sure if I want to do it yet.
Do I spoken to any of the doctors to find out if enhancements can help it? Okay, naturally you won't get a full erection, but can enhancements help?
There will be things that you can do to strengthen it, and it's like you're gonna have to exercise all over again. So you're gonna have to exercise that too. So each transition that you do or each surgery that you do is like going through puberty all over again, where that surgery or transition is concerned. Because starting the testosterone is like you're going through puberty all over again, trying to learn the emotions, the hair coming out, the facial hair, you're not seeing your menses anymore. So these are stuff that you have to adjust to, and that is why I'm strategizing my surgeries at different times and places, so I give my body time to catch up with my mind.
Another quick question, Kevin. I know for transgender that move from male to female, they have to on pills basically for the rest of their lives to keep the pitch of their voice and that kind of a thing. Is it the same with female to male?
It is somewhat similar, but I did my my questioning before I started. I asked my doctor, I spoke to my therapist, my counselor, and I make sure I have everything, a clear understanding before I started. The understanding that I have is that I don't have to stay on it for the rest of my life. However, some people choose to. There's different side effects. There are ways to come down off it. You can lower the dose. So like right now I'm at the 1 mil. When I started I was at 0.25. Then I went up to 0.5, then 0.75. I'm not 1. So within the next 3 years, I'm going to reduce my dose, because maybe less than 3 years, because I will be at the satisfactory level, because different people want different things out of transitioning. For me, it was about stop seeing my menses, facial hair, top surgery. Those were the 3 things I needed the most. I already have the tops. I had the menses stopped 3 months after I started. The facial hair is coming out, and I did my top surgery. So those were the 3 things I wanted. But you know, it's like money. The more you have is the more you want. So the more you get into the transitioning, the more you feel more comfortable, and there are more things that you want to do. So work with your flow. So as it relates to people, and if you have to stay on the medication for the rest of your life, no. Because these medications, they come with side effects. Some people get blood clots after long usages. So after 10 years, you might start having blood clots. So you lowering your dose reduces the chances of you getting blood clot or even stopping it. It's just that if you stop it, you're not going to have that firm masculine look that you had when you were on it. But at the same time, you're aging. So where does all of that matter? If you're aging, accept that you're aging. When people are aging, they start to shrivel, right? What do? Take pills to get rid of the shriveling? No, they just work with it. Some people get gray hair. Does everyone who get gray hair dye their hair? No. Some people just work with it. So young people will want to stay young, but when you start aging, those things don't matter to you anymore.
I wanted to ask a question based on something you said earlier before we could open it. My question. You said, because when Ramon asked about exercise, you say you have to exercise and so I want to do for exercise, you jerk it.
Oh, yeah, that can go on, and maybe you can put some little, like, I've seen it in the movies where men use balls, like some little weight balls kind of thing.
Yeah.
To like build up muscles kind of vibe. I think that could work. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say it does work, but those are some of the things that I think I would do. Because even right now, what I have right now, there are ways to exercise it to make it get bigger. The testosterone does make it get bigger, but there are ways that you can exercise it so that it can extend somewhere too.
You're there.
You know what I wait on, Kevin, is all of these advances in medicine.
Yeah.
I wait on that one pillow when you swallow it, go and go, you're just tight and small. I don't know what the doctors are wait on.
You might have to go be the one to come up with that one.
But that's the thing. I'm not good in science. I'm good in arts and writing and them kind of stuff. But me, I wait on the pillow. Can I say true,
Yeah.
motherfucker?
Oh, you have to swallow the pill? Say it again. Oh, you have to swallow the pill.
You see, through me kind of born in a small family,
Mhm.
but over time, I kind of move from a small
You
to
graduate.
a really small.
Oh, really small.
Because the more music that the small I get,
Yeah.
the more one pillow just bring me to a normal small.
Oh, you have to swallow the
Me
pill.
dear.
How you go to that though? Good luck with that one.
Alright, someone says, don't call Wicked Man, don't call my name. Aladdin laughing on Kiki sweet laugh. She's laughing. Sexy Kelly laughing. I guess that's the question that I asked. So I find it funny as well. Daniel D. Princess says, that's a good question, Ramona. I wanted to ask too, but I thought it was rather sensitive. LOL. Chris Jovis says, I'm so proud of Kevin. Living your truth.
Thank you,
so
Chris.
Powerful. Yeah, that Chris. So Kevin says, thank you. Sexy Kelly 32 says, after do that, can you get a woman pregnant? Well, I'm Kevin, Sexy Kelly, I jumped the gun, man.
I got my wife pregnant, but that wasn't how I did it, and we have a bouncing baby girl, like she's healthy and everything, and I didn't have to do it the way the men do it, but I did get her pregnant.
Oh God, we're gonna get into that. Kiki Sweet says draw kit.
Kiki Lobster.
LOL, only uku, you know. Chris says you're welcome, Kevin. Wait, we're not going into the debate. You have any question, Paradise?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead with the question.
So Kevin, in your opinion, why it is difficult for a person to understand and support correct pronouns? I guess Craig asked that earlier because sometimes me just say like she or me just say like boy, what man, some people just feel offended by it.
Alright, you see, education is very knowledgeable. Let me just make this point quick. Education is very knowledgeable, and that is why I put myself and my life out there to educate people who wants to learn about the LGBTQ. I'm not just educating about transgenders only, because pronouns are very important. If you were born a male, cisgender male, would you want somebody, if you were never a part of the gay world, you're cis, you like woman, that's the way you like it from birth, and somebody continues to look at you and say she, would you be okay with that? No. Nobody would be okay with that. It's like you're a doctor and somebody keeps saying to you, say you're a janitor. Come here, janitor. Janitor, come here. You're not going to feel good because you went to school, you did your education, you came out with your degree, your doctorate, and somebody look at you and call you a janitor. You're going to feel bad. So it's
so like that. You know,
it's like somebody downgrade you. That's how it feels, like they're downgrading you, like they don't care about how you feel as a person, but they can say what they want, how they want. For persons who mistakenly refer to me as a she, especially persons who knew me from I was a child, and they refer to me as a she, I'm not gonna kill them. But for people who've never met me in real life, and I told you when we communicate that I'm a he, and you continue to say you're a she, and there are persons who say I'm never gonna call you a he, that is an insult to my mental health.
Yeah, that is
okay, but Kevin, I mean, for some people it actually takes time, especially like your family, like your mother, your father, and that is one of the greatest struggles within the trans community, that some people just don't get it at once.
That's what he said.
That's what I said. It takes time, and that's why I'm here.
When him just born, then.
Yeah, if you knew me from then, and you have to transition too. The persons who knew me from I was a girl, let's say for argument's sake, I expect them to transition too, and that is why I give them enough time. But how are they going to transition if they don't begin with the start? The easiest way to start transition with a person who's transitioning is to start calling them by their name that they use now and the pronoun that they want you to call them. If you start with those 2 steps, you will transition very soon.
Alright, let me give a scenario. So I once met this person who was transitioned, who never even started transitioning, but had a girlfriend, and in a relationship, them are the man. Now we as gay guys, right, we identify ourselves as gay guys. We're gay guys who will say, if I talk to a man or a real man, it was a John Legend right now. Well, it's a girl, she look good. But we don't necessarily mean that John Legend is a girl. Because, you know, him look masculine, him a man, him smell good, him look good, him sing good, everything good about him. And we like him. I'm going to say, no, she look good, right? We're not trying to be disrespectful. No, I remember I first met this person, and I said to the female one, I said, where your girlfriend name again? And the girl was so upset. How dare you call me a girl? How dare you call me a woman? I've never met you before. In my eyes, you look like a female, and you could have just correct me and say, you know, I really don't like the fact that, you know, because I'm transitioning and I find it disrespectful. But no.
That is why I say education is important. Every time somebody misgenders me, I correct them on the spot and I don't get offensive. I say to them nicely, I'm sorry, but I don't really go by the female pronouns anymore. And then the person would apologize. I'm not gonna just argue with you and say, do I look like a girl, blah blah blah, because a lot of people look at the studs. They look like men, but they on the other, not all of the studs go by the male pronouns. So if everybody should see a stud and call a stud he, what about when they see a stud who is not going by that pronoun? So all I say to people, when a person misgenders, you just correct them. If the person continues to do it, then you may have to have a talk with that person more than just correcting that person. The gay community, the gay men, they always talk to each other and say she and girl and her. So I do understand, because I have a lot of gay men friends I used to work with some of them at an agency here. And there was a day one of them said to me, you know what? Every time I mispronounce, you charge me $5. When I start losing money, then I'll be more in tune, and then maybe I'll stop make the mistake. But I know for him, it's not like he's purposely doing it. But then after a time, he doesn't make those mistakes anymore. Seeing me every day, transitioning with me, he doesn't use the she anymore. He just call me bro, or he just say daddy. So people have to transition with us. If you love us and you want to support us, transition with us. Transition is not just us. And like you said, one of the person you saw did not start any transition. Remember, the definition of a transgender: a person who doesn't feel like they were given the right gender at birth. However, not everyone go through surgeries. Not everyone go through transitioning and take the testosterone or the pills. No, some people want to stay in the body they're in. A transgender is more of a mental thing. A transgender is an identity. Your sexuality is different and your gender is different. So there are three things that you have to learn when communicating with a trans person. Their sexuality is different from their identity and their gender.
But let me get a joke with this person, and when I finish explaining, Daniel, boss kids would know who I talk to. No? Person, alright, went through the surgery and now is a man. And can you believe me, the person act more girly now that them do the surgery?
It does happen.
The woman bitter me, the woman's, oh dear you.
Like I tell you, transitioning is a process of going through puberty all over again. Not everybody know which sides they will come out on when they're done. What my therapist and my doctor and my counselors told me, while you're going through transition for the first year, be careful of who you entertain in your personal space. So, because if you entertain gay guys, you might end up liking gay guys. If you entertain heterosexual women, you might end up liking heterosexual women more. If you entertain lesbians, you might revert back to being a lesbian. And if you entertain top men, heterosexual men, you might end up coming out being a bottom in a relationship with a heterosexual man. So it depends on who you entertain while you're in it. It's like going through puberty and you start liking girls. And you're like, you know me like girls. And then you at the end of it, if you're a heterosexual person, you're gonna know by the time you reach 16 based on what you feed yourself on in puberty. So it's the same thing about the people who are transitioning. I have trans friends right now who are dating gay men. I have trans men friends who are dating trans women. And I have trans men friends who are playing the bottom in relationship with gay men and heterosexual men. Because a lot of heterosexual men out there, they like men, but they rather be with a trans than a born man. Because they just don't want to feel like they're gay. So to them, when they're dating a trans man, they just feel like they're not gay.
You see why we are the rainbow team there, community with a bag of pressure. Daniel says, Craig, the blood of Jesus, don't mix men. Okay. Reading of the story and I asked Mr. Now. So Fluffy Kitty said, another question for Kevin. What is your opinion on the parents who have children who want to transition, but they ask them to hold off on transitioning until they're older before they make it?
Kitty need to watch some of my videos on my channel because I talk about this on my channel, but I'm gonna run through it right now as I'm being asked right now. So parents, be a parent to your child and help them to live their truth. You don't want to have a child and you tell the child, do not go through transition now, because you're slowly losing that child. You don't know what the child is going through and how this child feels. And I would rather you have a child and love the child for who the child is than to love the child for who the child isn't. Love me for who I am and not love me for who I am not. Like I said something on my blog the other day, I'd rather be loved for who I am than to be loved for who I'm not, or to be hated for who I am than to be loved for who I'm not. So people see me as a girl, they love me as a girl. I'm not a girl anymore. So if you can't love me as the man I see myself as, then you may have to keep your love to yourself. Love all of me or none. So as a parent, like I've heard people debate about Gabrielle Union and what's the guy, Dwayne? Their daughter who's transitioning from a boy to a girl. People say it's too early for that child to transition. What I would say to people, when I was in kindergarten, I knew there was something different about me. I wish I had transitioned earlier, but some things in life have to happen. You cannot force destiny. If I should have transitioned from 16, it would have happened.
No, you're breaking up.
Can you hear me now? Is it any better?
I can hear you clearly.
Because I'm saying, if I'm still here. I'm saying if I had transitioned from I was a teenager.
Hold on, just hold a minute, because I think we're breaking up. I'm not sure what's happening. Aladdin says, Lord Jesus, we don't want nobody on me then. So that I guess that is because of the part you said, be careful of who you bring into your space when you do
yes,
that.
they can come to your house, you know, Aladdin, but just don't be too physical, too close with anybody. Like you go out, you go and you have a drink. You're gonna drink with a lot of straight men. You know, when people are intoxicated, the body sways, the mind sways, you wanna get a little groove on. Anybody who's in your personal space then might be the one to relieve you. That's what I mean when I say in your personal space. Coming to your yard is okay. You're not drinking. You're not thinking about sex and all of that. But if you keep seeing this one person every day, that's why a lot of best friends find themselves in love. Because you're seeing this person every day. You talk about everything, you do everything together. Then after a while, you're going to be together. So
I'm clinging. You can't imagine. I like this bullshit. Gonna take drink with straight man.
So that's where it's coming. But for parents, you have to support your child because you don't want to lose that child by not supporting that child. So if it even don't tell them that they're too young for it. And what is young? Because I knew I was different. I knew I was a trans from I was a child. I just couldn't explain what it was. I just knew that I wasn't the girl they see me as.
Using that same argument, Kevin, when you say that you're too young, you can support your child in different ways. If I have a child at age 8 telling me, hey mom, I don't want to be a girl anymore, I want to be a boy, I can still support that child by saying, okay, I understand these are things that are happening and these are the feelings that you have. I don't think you need surgery, I don't think you need hormones. But however, you can dress the part until I feel you're at an age old enough to make those decisions. Because at the end of the day, as a child cannot walk into a hospital and say, Dr. Johnson, I need to do a surgery. That child still needs consent from a parent.
And that is why I say you have to support the child in whatever way you can, the way you best know how. Because you don't want to lose that child, because children commit suicide too when they feel like their parents are not hearing them. So you have to sit that child down and talk to that child every day, repeatedly. Learn the things that they do. Learn the games that they play. My daughter and I were very close. I have a 14-year-old daughter that I'm a biological parent. I gave birth to her. And we talk. And I talk to her about every and anything because I want to make sure I'm on par with everything that she does. So if 5 years, 2 years, or today she come to me and says she wants to transition, I would already know that ahead of time. You can see the things that the children do from the age 4 going 5. What they want to wear, how they want to dress, how they want to act. So you can project a certain things. You can project...
A lot of children are influenced by things that they see around them. And as soon as they think they want this thing, and as soon as they get it, they realize that, hey, this is not for them.
But if that's the case and 5 years later the child decides that I regret doing the transition, then all you have to do is love that child all over again. Because you did what the child wanted when the child wanted it. It might be too early as people think, but I don't think it's too early. I'm going to support my child. Even if she's 5 and she wants to transition, I'm going to support her. I just think that you doesn't have to do the surgeries and whatever. I would delay some of this stuff until teenage stage, when you know the teenage stage is more of a stage that takes you into adulthood. Like a 13, 14-year-old knows what they want from now. Because in high school, from you reach 9th grade, they tell you to choose the subjects to determine what you want to be in the future. You want to be a scientist, they tell you to take science subjects. You want to be an accountant, they tell you to take the account subjects or the mathematics or the calculation subject. So if a child tells me at the age of 13, 14 that I'm bisexual, I'm gay, I'm going to support you because that's who you say you are, and that's my child.
Alright, so let me just read that comment. So, Connor says, even as he said, I'm not with what Kevin's saying. Age got a lot to do with transforming, right? Even as adults, they make the most mistakes. Age got a lot, you know. But you did say you made a different point, and you made the same point that Damien said. You know what? Your child wants to do certain things. Nothing is wrong with dressing the part.
Exactly. Dress like a male if you feel like a male. Dress like a female if you feel like a female. Until you're at the satisfactory level to make a decision for yourself, then you do the transition. That's what I would think. Because here in Canada, when you reach the age of 16 or 17, the parents have no say in the child's medical rights. So if my child reaches the age of 16, she wants to go to the doctor on her own. That's her private life now. So if she wants to transition at 16, 17, it's on her. I have no say. So I would wait until it gets to that age when they make that decision where you can't hold me against it because it was your decision.
Yeah. But guys, for those of you who are listening, we want to see the hearts and coming in. Amir Soul says, Allah the day you're more busy under your door. Allah the day.
Amir, big up yourself.
Yeah, Amir. Kevin said, big up yourself. Amir said, I they hear you. Much thanks, Kevin. A baby at Amir Soul says, Allah the day. So for those of you who are listening who want to the hearts and coming, Kevin want to touch a very important topic. You mentioned your 14-year-old that you gave birth to when you were in the wrong gender. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. But now you now have a baby, I think 2 weeks ago, something like that.
9 days ago.
9 days ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on that, of course, and just bring us through that process from the start. You know, the baby's here, the feeling, the emotion, everything. Share it with us at Flexxx Radio.
Alright, so I've always wanted more kids. I've always wanted my own family, you know, because I'm a family man and I'm from a big family. My dad has 16 kids, my mom has like 10. So I always have siblings around me, and my daughter being the only child in the house. Prior to even that, I always say I want a big family. I want like 4 or 5 kids. So my girlfriend and I, we were together for a while. We broke up, but then we had a discussion prior to breaking up that if we're still single in a year time, we're gonna get back together and start our family. So the year came and we were single. Because not every man wants to settle down like having kids. They want to have relationship, but they don't want to have family. You know what I mean? A lot of gay men will get married and they're happy, but they don't really think or want to take the time out to raise a little baby from scratch growing up. They would rather adopt a child who's already grown, like 3, 4, 5-year-old. That's just my understanding based on the men who I communicate with, the gay men. But I've always wanted my own family. I want to have a baby growing inside of the house, in the belly, bond with the baby, touch up the belly and all these things. So I wanted to do all of that. That was like my fairy tale life that I planned out ahead of now. From 5 years ago, I've been thinking along this line, and every woman who I meet or I date within the last 10 years, that's how I always tell them I want a family. If you're not about settling down and family, then don't waste my time. So yes, I would have been through a few women to get to where I'm at right now, but this is it. So basically, when she came back, we spoke and we had a long talk. My daughter was a part of the conversation because she ups like that. Big up yourself, Shadiki. Because if I don't shout her out, she go argue with me. So my daughter and I, we spoke about it, and she's telling me like, Dad, you know, I need a sibling. I'm getting older and I don't want to be in college and have a sibling. Like, I want to have a sibling now when I'm able to assist in the house and whatever. So we did the planning, we spoke, then I called my ex-girlfriend at the time and we talked about it. My daughter was a part of the conversation. But I was dating somebody else, like not really relationship, just like bang, bang, bang. So my daughter was like, it's not going to happen. I'm like, what? She's like, you have to break up with that person if Tasha is going to come back. So I'm like, you're only like 13. What are you saying to me? What do you know? And she's like, no, I'm not going to have it in this house. You're not going to be having 2 women back and forth in the house. You need to be an example. So thanks to Shadiki, I took her advice and I broke up with the person I was banging. And then Tasha came back and then we spoke about the whole pregnancy. And then my sperm donor, we did the transaction, paid whatever I'm supposed to pay, made the arrangements and how we're going to do it. The person came, stayed with us for a while. And I just let the person jerk off in but them some the name, them container jars that you get at the pharmacy. They can use it for urine tests and samples. So I bought a few of them and I just let the person go in the washroom and do the ejaculation, leave it in the washroom, knock my door when he's finished, and I go to the washroom and get it. And my girlfriend will be in the room laying down on her back because I did my little one tests and studies and figure out how I'm going to make it work. Because I did not want to have a man penetrate my woman for her to get pregnant. So based on the biology that I did, I know that the semen has to travel with the cum juice from the woman. So I put her to lay on her back and I did what I had to do to make her have her orgasm ahead of time. So while he's in there doing his thing, we're in the room with the door closed doing our thing. When he's done and he called me, I just used the syringe. I removed the needle from the syringe. And then I use the older part to take up the sperm from the container. And just while she's laying on her back, put on my gloves and everything because I don't want a sperm touching me. Like, nah, I'm not about that life.
Me neither.
So yeah, I make her lay on her back and I put it in and I just let her lay down for 20 to 30 minutes to make it travel and make sure it got there safely. And we did it like 3-4 times. We did it 2 days apart for 4 days, and then within 2 weeks time we did the pregnancy test and it showed positive. And we've been visiting our doctors since then to make sure everything is okay. We didn't miss any appointment. Every month we did a doctor, we do ultrasounds upon ultrasounds to make sure the baby is healthy. And thanks be to God, because I have to say God did a lot of this. It was him, because I prayed for a child. I wanted a child. I did not specify what gender I wanted. All I wanted was a child. Went for the ultrasound and they said it's gonna be a girl. I'm like, okay, all I want is a baby. Whether it's a trans, a man, a woman, a girl, a boy, I really don't, that doesn't matter. I just want to have a human being to call my own.
Yeah.
So she gave birth the 27th of September. The baby is healthy, as you can see. Yeah, I posted pictures. The baby born the day after my mom, and I really love my mom. We're very close, so yeah, so that's basically it. So yes, you can have a child without having a man come inside of your woman. You just need the sperm. Just make sure you don't have it out for too long, so like seconds apart. As soon as the person is done, you just go and catch it while it's warm and just put it in. You don't need to make a minute pass, because you don't know if it's gonna live long if it gets cold, or you know. So
Keeping warm.
Alright, wait. Amir Soul said, yes sir, big up back. I like to say get felicitated. That means congratulations in Dutch. Kiki, Sophia Johnson, Kiki, Chris Jove, Louis says, well, this is Dr. Kevin.
Somebody said it to change my profession.
Yeah, and all of them say, whoa, my name is Sis, me not like Pink Flex about.
Yeah.
Let them say, I can't do it, you know. Any questions, Damian?
No, it was very informative. I was just making a comment. That's exactly how I like my sperm to warm to the touch.
Oh. We have a few more questions that we have to finish, right? And these are, in your opinion, Dave, Kevin,
yes.
What are the 5 needs of a transgender person?
The top 5 needs?
Yeah.
Needs as it relates to transitioning, or
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so persons who transition.
Top 5, so the 5 of them are 6. So I think, hold on. Oh my God, we're trying to get back. Yeah. Wait, the boss Kim says one and only Aladdin. Kiki Sweet says hi, Tasha. Say yes. What are top 5 needs, as a transgender? Okay,
so the studs I know who are living the life of a stud who wants to transition, because when I was living the life of a stud, I knew I wasn't a stud, so I had to do my transition to sync my body with my brain so people can see me the way I see myself, because when I look in the mirror, regardless of the fact that I had breasts then, I see myself as a man. All those were irrelevant to me. The feminine parts, I never see them. It's like I just block them out. So for transition, a lot of persons out there in the body of a female, they don't want to see menses, the monthly thing, because some people who go across as a male or come across as a male, it's very annoying to be living the life of a male and still having menses. For some persons, they are touch me not, so they don't really receive sex, so they don't really want to have the breast and the vagina. So some people wants to get rid of the vagina, some people wants to get rid of the breast. That would be 3. A lot of studs that I talk to, they want facial hair, because when you go out and you dress very masculine with no facial hair, people easily see that you're a female. So as much as you're camouflaging your breast without the facial hair, it gives you away. And for other persons, they hate the fact that when they go out in public, they have to urinate in the female washroom, especially when they're on their menses. So for me, I stopped using female washroom like almost 5 years ago, only at my job, because I do security work at a club, and it was kind of annoying when I go in the male washroom. The men are always harassing me with their mouth, like they're always saying, hey, you're in the wrong bathroom. Like, I can read. That's why I'm here. And they're like, oh, well, you're not supposed to be around here. You're a security and you search people. If you're a man, you're not supposed to be searching the women when they come, and they're always harassing me. So for argument's sake, to avoid fighting people every day, I just use the female washroom, because my coworkers already know that I'm a trans man and they're okay with it. They don't really matter whichever washroom I use. So I don't use the male washroom when the club is happening, I use it before and after. If I have to use the washroom in between, then I just go to the female washroom. But I don't know what that's going to be like when COVID is over, because by then I'll have more facial hair and I'm not going to go to the female washroom with a female are gonna be in there. Like, it's gonna be a chaos, because when females see somebody walking with beard on their face, they're gonna start screaming and making a bunch of noise, and I don't want to have to explain to people every time they scream at me. It's becoming annoying.
You know what, the last season we had a very interesting topic. I'll continue war.
Frank, you guys said something.
I will continue war over it. I want to bring it back in at this, and I want to ask you a question, and it's either yes or no. When you go into a male bathroom, do you feel offended when you see a urinal?
No, I don't.
Okay. That's it.
It's a male washroom, so I'm not going to feel offended when I see a washroom, because there are men and there are male.
Wrong person.
The people who are with me,
no, there are people who consider themselves to be a man, and there are persons who are male. A male is different from a man. A male is just that you have the organs that were given to you at birth to show that you're a man and you're a male, and that was it. But there are men out there who doesn't have a penis, like myself. So if I go there and I don't have a penis, I don't feel anyway. I have my stand to pee. So I take it with me and I use the toilet and I stand to pee. So who is going to tell me that I'm not a man around there when I'm standing and urinating just like you standing out there? I just choose not to use the urinal for... I just choose not to use the urinal, but I use my stand to pee.
60s, after 60s. Are you guys hearing me?
I'm still here.
Everyone? Alright, wonderful. Fluffy Kitty says, what would you say to a gay man like me who wants a few kittens in my future at Kevin?
A few what?
Kitten. She's a gay man and she won't get pregnant as a gay man. She wants of the belly and of the pig. No. She just been. I think you answered that.
I've heard of gay men who carry the baby because they can have the egg put inside of them. It's just that it might be very uncomfortable and they have to do C-section.
No.
Because remember, you don't have a natural vagina and the womb is not there to push the baby out. Your belly will expand while the baby is in it, but you're gonna have to do C-section to give birth.
No, for transgender men. So women who turn to men who did not complete their surgery to remove the womb and do everything else, those are the only men that can give birth. But biological men, people who were born male, can never. So far,
I have seen stuff on the internet, unless the internet is lying. Well, I don't really believe everything on the internet, but I've seen stuff on the internet where a born male give birth, but the egg had to put in the person. Like I say, it's on the internet, so it can be fabricated. The egg was put in the person, and the person had to do C-section because they don't have a womb to bring it out. But a trans man, I have trans men friend who gave birth recently. I have a Bahamian friend who gave birth recently. And I have known of trans men who are dating trans women, and the trans woman get the trans man pregnant, and he carried the baby.
So Ramon says, will that belly form? But Amir says, no. Trans men have been pregnant, not gay men. And Ramon again, will that baby get enough nutrients?
That's a gamble you would have to take. If you're a gay man and you choose to conceive, like bring the baby, that's a chance you'll have to take, because the baby will not get all the nutrients that he would get from a female or the organs that a female carry. So that's a chance you would have to take.
All right. If we have a part, right, at the end of the program, when we have an interview, we give the microphone to the interviewer, to the guest, and we say to you, this is your minute or 2 minutes. Say what you want to say. Now, it is your time, Kevin, to just address the public. If there's any burning sensation on your mind, thing you wanted to get off, question you think we've never asked through the interview that you wanted to answer, can you go ahead and just run through that 2 minutes?
Share your handles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanna thank you all for having me on your program. This was a very interesting interview today. For the viewers who've been live, I thank you all for being a part of the panel, a part of the program. And for the panel persons, again, thank you. Things that if I should send a message to the general public right now, where the LGBTQ community is concerned, I see people treating us as if we are an object, and they don't want to communicate with us. Like, make him stay over there, so let her stay over there, so like they just put you aside and they try not to communicate with you. It's like they're avoiding you, like you're contagious. If they come too close to you, or their children come too close to you, bam, they're gonna switch to being a part of the LGBTQ. I remember when I was a police and I went on assignment to the schools, some of the teachers would not want me to speak to the children because they like, I'm contagious, I'm a disease, and all the children I speak to may become a part of the LGBTQ. That is not so. I would love if the public who is listening to my voice right now try to educate themselves on who we are as a body or as people. We are human beings just like them, and the whole Christian belief of them just throwing stones and telling us we're going to hell and all of that, they can stop with that now. Because we're here to live just like them. And if the Bible say, let the wheat and the tare grow together till the day of harvest, I hate when the Christian people throw it at us and make it seem as if they are the farmers reaping the flock. It's not judgment yet. It's not time for the harvest. So just let us live.
Yeah.
Just let us live. And for the parents who have children who are part of the LGBTQ, love your children. You gave birth to us. So if you're going to throw us out or put us out and treat us like outcasts, then that means your job as a parent, you failed. Us being a part of the LGBTQ doesn't mean that you failed as a parent. You fail when you stop showing us the love that we need. That's basically it from me. If you're going to put you out rent somewhere, put us so we can live. Yeah. Make use of it. Yes, that's basically my wrap up.
Remember your handles, Kevin.
Yeah, remember your handles. YouTube channels.
So guys who are watching, I would like for you to follow me on Instagram, hothead_Kevin. On my YouTube channel is where I do all of my vlogging, my motivational speeches. I do family games and stuff. The YouTube name is Journey with Kevin. 3 words, Journey with Kevin. I have a Facebook business page also called Kevin Konsious Davis. This is where I do bookings for my online counseling sessions and my social service work that I've been doing. If persons need to book an appointment, book it through my Facebook, Kevin Konsious Davis. And Konsious is spelled with a K. Konsious.
Can you do me a favor, Kevin? Can you send these 3 handles to me so I can put them in the group chat? And also I repeat them as we go through to the next segment of the show.
Yes, I definitely will do that. So guys, remember, like, subscribe, and share to my YouTube channel. Remember, watch a video before you subscribe because the YouTube policy changes. If you subscribe before, the subscription will not stay. And there's a lot to learn on my channel where LGBTQ and other information about life and journey, struggles that we go through from day to day, you can find it on my YouTube channel, Journey with Kevin.
Okay, right. I definitely will follow this, and we can get some topic from your channel as well. Daniel D. Princess says, thank you for passing through, Kevin. It was very informative, and I learned a lot. Sophia John said, this is a nice program. Thank you, Sophia John. Aladdin say, I second that at Daniel D. Princess. Fluffy Kitty says, thank you for the info, Kevin. It was very informative. And we wrote Journey with Kevin. That is the YouTube channel. Journey with Kevin underscore Kevin. Is it,
Yes, the IG is @_Kevin. The YouTube is Journey with Kevin. And the Facebook is Kevin Konsious Davis.
Or just yes, what you just did. I'm just gonna add all of them in the chat so we can see them and follow. Guys, remember, like, watch our video, subscribe. No matter how run the subscribe to the brother thing, and then the subscription gone. So watch the video first, and please watch advertisement. The more advertisement you watch, the more the money go up. Journey with Kevin. There's a YouTube, and that's 3 words. Journey with Kevin. _Kevin.
the IG.
That's the IG. And Kevin Konsious Davis, man, is SB, and that's a business page. If you want to get a counselor, so I get some more information, please don't hesitate to,
support the thing. Support, reach out.
Yes, and Aladdin also has followed an IG. She not for sure now follow you along.
All right, people. It was good.
Fire says yes. Watch the ads. Yeah, watch the ads. Make sure that promote. You guys did a wonderful job for Flexxx Radio. And as we created Flexxx Radio because we believe that our voice needs to be heard.
Yes.
And there is not enough media or medium that our voice is being heard through. And we created this for a voice to be heard. So some people might send voice note that them don't want nobody know. Ooh, them send text message, and we just have the program. And we so much appreciate that you took the time out, Kevin, to pass through, share so much information. And we also want to say big congratulations on your extended family, because your family is now extended.
Thank you.
And big up your supporters, because I saw you brought a lot of support.
Big up my campaign team.
Yeah, big up the campaign team. Let me just do some big up as well. Daniel D. Princess, Sexy Kelly 32. Boss Lady Shauna, D Legend Boss Work, Fluffy Kitty, Sophia John, Kiki Sweets, Chris Jovi, is it Akira Shah, 31, Ramon 007, Taekwondo Raven, Amir Soul, Asa, Chevanese Skiers, Bot Schemes, Aladdin. For those of you who are listening through the link, big up your damn self. Kiki says big up. Kevin, thank you so much, and we're hoping to have you back sometime soon.
Whenever you're ready, I'm here.
For those of you who are still listening, we'll be right back. Enjoy the music in the background, and we'll be right back, guys. We're taking a short break.
All right, you take care.
Yeah. Thank you so much again, Kevin.
So, people, there you have it. A wonderful interview. Big up my campaign team on a rollout. My love, I appreciate it. I appreciate it like so much. I wish you all could see me hugging you right now. My wife, Sapphira, thank you for being there. My tower of strength. You've been in on the journey with me. Shediki in the background. This time you can't up on the live video make up a bag of noise, but I hear you. Thank you for being here. All the people who are on it, I wasn't able to see the names, but based on the broadcasters, they read back your name. Kiki, you were there, big up yourself. I hear them call out Chevanese, big up yourself. Amir Soul, you were on it from my IG. Brother from another mother, Transman too, big up yourself. Shelly White, you were there, thank you for being there. Who else me hear them call? Them call out a few names from my campaign team, but can't remember everybody's name, but just big up on yourself. I thank you all for being there. I appreciate you. So people, this is another video, another vlog in the life journey with Kevin and the family. Thank you all for being a part of my channel. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Share the videos, comment on the videos, blow up the comment section. Let me know if you think this was a good interview. If you think I said anything wrong, you can also comment it there. I can address it, and I'm a type of person who I own up to my mistakes, if any, and I'll address what I need to address just the same. So people, all you gotta do is just reach out to me. And for the persons who are always there for me, I thank you. And for the persons who have not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? A lot of good things are happening over here on the channel Journey with Kevin. So big up on yourself. For the persons who weren't able to be on the live panel or to listen to the live radio broadcast from all the way in Europe, here you have it. I did record it, so I'll be dropping the video. So watch the video. Alright people, thank you. Until next time, peace out.